Kristen Stewart remains one of our most interesting actresses right now, and you can check out her latest, the erotic thriller Love Lies Bleeding, now on Max. Let's talk about it. Hey guys, Dan here. This is Dan Reviews It. Welcome to my spoiler-free review for the new film Love Lies Bleeding. This was in theaters very briefly earlier this year. I think it was at my local movie theater for like a week, so I did not get to see it. But now it will be exposed to a wider audience. It is streaming on Max, so you can check that out there. But look, before we launch into that, let me welcome you back to Dan Reviews It. If you are one of my subscribers already, thank you so much. Definitely appreciate that love. Please consider liking the video and commenting below. If you're not one of my subscribers yet, would love to have you aboard in that capacity, so please consider clicking that subscribe button. All right, so look, Kristen Stewart, man, I am a huge fan, and I don't like the Twilight movies. I saw the first one, I thought it was okay, and then I just never watched the rest of them. But in the last, 5, 6, 7 years, she's really given us some complex characters, some interesting performances. She obviously has an Oscar nomination under her belt for the fantastic movie Spencer. She was Lady Diana in that, and my God, her choices, and her co-star Robert Pattinson too. I mean, I think he's made some really, really interesting moves, since the Twilight days. So this one is an erotic thriller called Love Lies Bleeding. It was directed by Rose Glass. This is her second feature film. Saint Maud was the first, which I've heard of, but I have not seen, I must admit. She co-wrote the screenplay as well with a person named Weronika Tofiska. So a lot of women involved in this female-heavy movie. And the basic plot, and that's really all I'm going to tell you about the plot, is sort of the byline. So we are set in 1989, and we're following the lesbian relationship between a reclusive gym manager who is part of a crime family, that is the Kristen Stewart character, and an ambitious bodybuilder who gets wrapped up in that organized crime life. And Katie O'Brien plays her. Jackie Cleaver is the name. And I was unfamiliar with her. She's done a few things in the superhero realm. She was part of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., which I didn't watch. She was in Black Lightning on the CW, didn't watch. And she had a small role in Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, which I did watch, but is fairly forgettable. But you may know her most from seasons 2 and 3 of The Mandalorian. I don't watch that show either. I saw, I think I finished the first season of that. But anyway, I didn't see her seasons, so unfortunately, this is a new actress to me, and man, she killed it too. So, she could be one to watch here coming up. And you have Ed Harris here as well, Jenna Malone, who we haven't seen in a little while, and then Dave Franco as well. Ed Harris plays Kristen Stewart's estranged father in this. The character is named Lou, by the way. The gym manager, Louise, but she goes by Lou. And we have Dave Franco is Lou's brother-in-law, and he is abusive to Lou's sister, and it's just, horrible. You don't get to see Dave Franco. Well, I don't know. Dave Franco has, I guess, played a jerk before. Has he played like an abuser? I can't think, but he's definitely had some darker characters, along the way. But boy, Ed Harris, man, he's great in this. He is just a bastard, as the head of this crime family. This movie covers a lot of ground in terms of, organized crime and the relationship between love and violence, and sort of that fine line. There's some pretty steamy sex scenes here. And look, I am certainly far from a prude, but when it comes to like sex scenes in movies, I really think it needs to be kind of plot specific. Like, do we really need this scene? This isn't the 80s where it's like, oh my God, a boob, that's so exciting. Give me something that actually, relates to the plot. Is this scene necessary? And I gotta tell you, I think in this movie, it really, really was. And they are hot sex scenes, but they also drive the plot forward. And I think both of those things are hard to come by in movies these days. And Kristen Stewart, obviously always game, for anything in that regard. But this could be one of her best performances. She's so good here. She continually amazes me with her talent. And, I think a lot of people dismissed her because of Twilight. And look, I talked about this in my Spencer review years ago, and some of the other movies I've talked about with her over the years. But, she continually challenges herself to, never give us the same performance twice. And maybe being part of that Twilight universe was a reason for that. She played the same character for years and years and years in so many different movies. That maybe she was like, you know what, let's focus on doing as many different things as I can, and this is a neo-noir erotic thriller. Has she done one of those yet? No, I don't think so. And so she's just excellent here. I don't know if there's an Oscar in her future, but boy, I'd love to see it for something. And this movie, look, it didn't do very well at the box office. It's a very small release. Hopefully it will find a wider audience on Max. But I think this could be one of these movies that turns into kind of a cult hit. Certainly in the the LGBTQ canon of gay films, because it certainly hits a lot of those notes as well. So I could see it being, kind of a lesbian empowering kind of a movie. But I think this will reach cult status, over the next few years of just rewatches and people talking about it. Look, I will say that the organized crime stuff is a little routine. That's maybe not bringing us a whole lot new to the table, except for, some really interesting performances from the leads. But otherwise, look, this is a really fascinating movie. I think there's some great performances here. And what's the gal's name? Katie O'Brien. She is great here as well. She goes, really toe-to-toe acting-wise with Kristen Stewart, and I think the two of them have some great scenes together, and some good scenes apart, too. But she could be one to watch moving forward as well. Look, Mandalorian, maybe I'll get back on it one of these days, and I will look for her performance there. But I leave Love Lies Bleeding with an A-. And like I said, if you missed it, you can catch it now on Max. All right, thank you so much for watching Dan Reviews It, and I'll see you next time. Bye.